address?
Hi. I'd like to report a crime.
Okay, what is the crime, sir?
My crisp bowl.
Your crisp bowl?
Yeah.
What about it, sir?
It's empty.
It's empty? Okay. Are you the one that finished the crisp
No.
bowl?
Okay. But
so you
I
believe someone else ate your
I
crisp
think I saw someone. Yes.
Okay. What is your name, sir?
I'm Joseph Rafiki.
Joseph Rafiki.
Yeah.
Where are you right now?
At home.
At home?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your address, sir?
4874 Kilimanjaro.
Okay, sir. I need you to calm down. I need you to breathe. Okay? I am sending policemen your way with provisions in 10 to 15 minutes. What kind of crisps were they?
Muhogo.
Muhogo. Okay. You prefer them with masala and lemon?
Yeah, masala and lemon is fine.
That's fine. I will have policemen there in 10 to 15 minutes. If they're not there in 10 to 15 minutes, feel free to call back and I will see where they are and make sure you get your crisps back, sir, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. They will take it from there and there, right?
Thank God.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I still have them.
That was funny.
Habari gani? I don't know.
Really? No. Nope, not that.
Okay, while we
Figure out how to
what...
say hi to you guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
You good?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're good. Yeah.
That's it.
And that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. We had a great time talking with you guys.
Yeah. That's it.
Bye.
Bye. And so, now that we found
Jokes aside.
a very interesting way to tell you hi, well, we just did. Welcome.
To 1320, the coolest hangout for youth and teens.
Okay, I wasn't supposed to say that. I was supposed to say welcome, sit down, relax. But anyway, yes,
No,
welcome
but it's
to
1320, the coolest hangout for youth and teens.
Well, yeah. So, today we'll be having a part 2 of what we talked about last time.
What did we talk about last time? What was part 1?
Part 1 was the baseball match, Dodgers versus
It was
Yankees.
not that. Oh my gosh.
It was 3 strikes and you're out.
That's the name of the summer series.
Exactly. Now
yeah,
we are
but it
talking
wasn't
about
Dodgers.
prayer.
Okay. Prayer.
Hello.
Prayer.
The Dodgers pray before they start a match. Okay.
And that's why they win.
Yes.
Mm.
Omba Mungu ushinde, in short. Anyway.
Question. What if both teams pray? Who does God answer?
Have you ever heard of matches ending at a draw?
But there's like every team prays. Like that's like a tradition. You just see people there like the dugout or whatever before they enter in the field. They're all just like, and you can see, you think they're praying or whatever.
It's usually psych, like.
It's usually psych.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Oh! That's not praying, but we can.
We'll forgive them.
We'll forgive
They
them.
don't know any better. It's fine.
And now this time we're going to be talking about witnessing.
Why did you do it like that?
No, like
You're
promised,
witnessing.
We promised them ASMR. You know?
Oh yeah, we did promise you guys ASMR. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we're talking about witnessing, and no, not the witnessing not the witnessing you just witnessed. No.
Not that.
Not that.
The other type of witnessing, the Christianese witnessing.
I wouldn't have said it. But
Do you know what Christianese is?
yeah, like Christians who are Chinese. I don't know that just came. That just came.
Oh my god!
That just came. Let our crisp not get stuck again.
That's not happening again, guys. Don't worry. No, Christianese is...
What is it?
So, Christianese is basically the language that Christians use and like misuse over and over again. Like, oh gosh, like what is Christianese?
So the using and the misusing
Of popular Christian terminology.
is Christianese.
It's Christianese.
Oxford, we know you're watching. Please.
You want them to add it to the dictionary?
Page 497
Right.
of edition 11.
Uh-huh.
Add Christianese.
I think they're on like edition 16 now.
sisi wa Kenya tuko edition 11. Tuliulizwa tununue edition 9 high school. So don't blame me.
So now we're in edition 11. Anyway, so witnessing. What is that?
As you said, it's Christianese for.
It's Christianese for talking to people about Jesus. Like, that's all that witnessing is. It's just talking to people about the Lord and being like, do you want to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Yes. Awesome. Let's pray. That's witnessing.
That's more of that's like an
no,
altar
but it's
call.
usually, yeah, but like a lot of times, like especially traditional witnessing, that's how it would end. Like somebody comes and they talk to
That's
you
how it
and they
would
talk
end.
to
Like,
you and you
like,
ask questions and then in the end they're like,
by the way,
so I know how all of your problems can be solved. All of your troubles will go away.
no,
If you'll accept Jesus
like
as your Savior.
You sound like a witch doctor. I know all your problems. I know how they will go away.
You're just like, no, listen. Just accept Jesus as your Savior. Come to church on Sunday. I look forward to seeing you. And then you pray with them a little prayer. Some people, for some churches and stuff, the prayer is like five like sentences. For other places, it's like 20, and I'm like, okay, it's the same thing,
Some it's
guys.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, some it's a whole 5 minutes.
Others
You
like
dedicate
20.
everything. So yeah.
You bring
But-
a lamb on your shoulder.
Don't bring a lamp on your shoulder.
They used to.
But over time, obviously, especially with how, information is passed along these days and how we basically kind of know everything we need to know about everything. Not necessarily that we know, but like, we know, if I need to find out something about something, I just Google it. So yeah. And when I Google, I will not only get the proper opinion, I will also get about 1,000 other different people's opinions on something. So yeah, if you want to know something about Christianity, all you have to do is Google. And so in this day and age, everybody's pretty aware of Christianity, not necessarily the ins and outs or what the Bible says or who Jesus was necessarily, but more so just the overview, like, okay, you guys believe Jesus came down to this earth and died for all the sins of mankind, and now because of that, we live like this. Like, that's what's in most people's heads, and so on and so forth. And so in this day and age, witnessing is a little different.
I remember back in our day.
No, there was no back in your day. Witnessing is a little
back in the late 90s.
Right.
When I was in
Unborn.
I was through with college.
Unborn.
I was through with college. At that time, Kisumu University, for those people who remember.
That was a thing.
I know.
By the time I was born, that was.
I know for the people who are born in the late 90s, aren't actually watching 1320 because they're above. But anyway, still, the point is, back in the day, I'm not saying mine.
Just the day.
Just the day.
Day.
Witnessing used to be a bit more physical, if I should say. Like,
also,
people would go from one place. No.
You said physical. I'm just trying to understand.
I meant like physical, like moving from one place to another. I didn't mean like getting physical with the Bible and knocking somebody.
Physical.
No. Okay. Like, people will actually like gather as a group, go to some town that probably they don't know the people there, and go and be like, hey, hello, I am Peter from Wanjohi Christian Center. I'm just trying to. I'm thinking of something. Then you'll go and like talk to them about God and possibly put that salama or msalaba or their head with mafuta and something. I'm saying back in the day. These days it's different. And so that would be like, they would share what they know about Christ with others. And it's not necessarily like just to prove that they're good, but it's, let's say, part of our duty as Christians back in the day, even right now, because we can't just say, okay, I'm saved and that's it. I'm fine, I will go to heaven and taenda peke yangu. No, there's that cannibal of viewers who is going through something and probably doesn't know Christ. Just tell him like, yo, there's this issue that you're going through. Okay, I mean, it's fine, it's as how humans say, it's in your life. But there is possibly a relief. I can't say a solution, but a relief. Because, well, like, mostly when you talk to God about something, you feel that relief, like, at least somebody knows about what
Yeah.
I'm going through.
Yeah.
Than you being there. My stress nakupanda. You're 20, you're 22. You look like you're 47. Trust me, those people are there.
Yep.
And there are other people who are 50 and look as if they're in their early 30s.
Well, yeah.
Mm. So, basically, what witnessing is what Sarah said, telling people about Christ, of which back in the day it was a bit
More physical.
as
Oh, sure.
not what Sarah meant, but yeah. But nowadays, as we have these and these, I really don't have a laptop, but
Oh, I was wondering.
like laptop computers, anything that can access the internet, we
Yeah.
can connect to people. That's basically what the internet does, connecting you to others.
The World Wide Web.
Yeah. And in that connection, get it? In that
In that connection.
we are going to read from the book of Second Kings. Actually, for the people who are here last, for the people who are here last Sunday, you already know this story about our person, Mr.
Our person.
Yeah, Mr. King Jehoash.
Oh, I thought you'd forgotten.
No.
Mm-hmm.
When he was told to smite the ground, and he smote
Only 3 times. Only 3 times.
Mm.
And we know he had the strength and energy to. Oh.
Yeah, wait.
Oh.
The strength of that?
Oh.
Okay. We are going to
You
forgive
just
that.
read. You just read.
Okay. So the book of Second Kings, chapter 13, verse 14 to 21. Should I read this? So you read last Sunday. For the people who aren't here last Sunday, now Elisha was fallen sick of his sickness, whereof he died. And Joash, the king of Israel, came down unto him and wept over his face.
Imagine someone weeping over your face.
Weeping. No, I'm actually
Especially if someone is like sick, you're just like, ooh, over their face.
Anyway.
That would have been so annoying.
And Elisha said unto him, wait, now, yeah. And said, oh my father, oh my father. Well, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And Elisha said unto him, take the bow and arrows. And he took unto him bows and arrows. And he said to the king of Israel, put thine hand upon the bow. And put his hand upon it. And Elisha put his hands on the king's hands. So it's like he was kind of blessing the king. Or, so you know that for those people who watch movies, you know that energy transfer from one person to another. Yeah, maybe did that. Maybe that's why Elisha was. I will say that after I've read this. And he said, open the window eastward, where the sun rises.
Where is eastward? Eastward?
East to us is.
Yeah, because the sun sets
sun
this
is
way,
there.
so this is eastward. So he'd open one of these windows.
Then Elisha said, shoot. And he shot. That easy. And he said, the arrow of the Lord's deliverance, and the arrow of the deliverance from Syria, for thou shalt smite the Syrians in Aphek, till thou have consumed them. And he said, take the arrows, and he took them. And he said to the king of Israel, smite upon the ground. And he smote thrice, and stayed. Can you imagine how that is like? Ta, ta, ta.
Then you just sit there. Done.
Peace.
I'm a gangster.
Okay, and the man of God was wroth with him, and said, thou shouldest have smitten
Shoulders.
5 or 6 times. Then thou then hadst thou smitten Syria till thou hadst consumed it. So in short, if you want to consume your enemy, smite the ground 6 times.
Yep. That's the way to go.
Anyway, yeah. Whereas now thou shalt smite Syria, but thrice. I said the same way last time, but thrice. And Elisha died, and they buried him. And the bands of the Moabites, by the way, I checked out, bands is actually
Bands?
really like
It was actual
clusters
bands?
of warriors.
That's disappointing.
Of the Moabites invaded the land at the coming in of the year. Imagine New Year. Happy New Year! Ushadungwa mshale manze.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
that was painful. And it came to pass that as they were burying a man, that behold, they spied a band of men. Dun, 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 dun. And they cast the man into the, my favorite word of the week, sepulchre of Elisha. And when the man was laid down and touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood up upon his feet. I know that was a very long reading, especially for those people who had this last Sunday.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, maybe the reason as to why Elisha was actually angry is because he did that power transfer thing to the king. Then the king only
Only used up 3. Yeah.
like
I would have been angry too.
I have given you my power.
With my dying breath, I give you my energy, and that's what you do.
Like I anoint you, and then you're like ta ta ta. Peace. Anyway, that's not the reading of today. That was just like a recap of what we are talking about. And in this situation, we cannot just think of life as how the king thought of his. Like, okay, I think 3 is enough. For us, we said 3 is not enough last Sunday. And this Sunday, we are talking about living as a normal person. Okay, let me not just say like a normal person, because, well, living as a normal person is good. But living as a person who doesn't stand up for what he believes in, that's basically what I'm trying to say, is not enough.
Yeah.
Because the king knew that he could do more than 3.
Yeah.
Elisha knew that he could do more than 3, but he did only 3, and that was his demise. But for us, we know that we are saved by the blood of the Lamb, and knowing that, we have to help others into the enlightenment. Anyway, and for that, especially in this current world, current day and age, where a lot of things are going wrong. By going wrong, I mean there are a lot of weird things happening. A lot of weird things, diseases that we don't understand, weird stuff happening in politics that I don't even want to mention. We have the age-old parasite that has been nyanyasaring us. Well, it's not me, it's in the script. Corruption.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I was so confused as to where that was going.
And for most people, we see it happening every single day. Ukipanda matatu unaona pale ka polisi tu kanasaidiwa kafinje. And we are like, okay,
Sure.
yeah, cool. And we don't do anything
Cool,
about
cool,
it.
cool, cool, cool.
These are just two tiny evils. Too evil to dogo.
Tiny foxes that are spoiling the, what's it called?
I don't know.
It's a vase, and I've forgotten it.
Vineyard.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Songs of Solomon.
Understand.
Chapter something.
For something,
Yeah.
yeah.
So standing up for something, as you see, we witness these things happening in real life. I'm using the word witness because that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We witness these things happening in real life, but we also can witness of the good things that happen to others. Let's say I really wanted something, and by, let's say, miraculously I got it. Then I come to Sarah and be like, oh, by the way, there's this thing happened. Then I prayed, and then voila, out of nowhere. Okay, it's not out of nowhere, but out of nowhere, I got it. Then I'm like, oh, that's great. Glory be to God. Like, aha! Now that you said it, I think it's God. Yes, this could not be like possible if and just by you saying that, it also encourages the other, like, okay, so God has helped him get this. You can help me too. And just that, you've changed somebody's life. I can't say forever, but I just have to say it for the dramatic effect. Forever.
Yeah.
And now that I've talked too much, let Sarah continue.
Yeah, feel free to eat. See, I've already finished for you. So feel free to
Sepulchre.
eat the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, so as Raf was talking about how one of the ways that you can witness, one of the easiest way to witness is just by how you live your life. And I feel like a lot of times with Christianity, we've placed an emphasis on how people dress or
How they talk.
where they work, who their friends are. I mean,
what they do in their free time.
Yeah. And it's not like those things aren't important. And it's not like those things aren't, because sometimes those are things that do need to be worked on and that do need to be refined in the spirit. However, we place so much emphasis on those things that we forget that we're not saving bodies. Like, this is just a house for my soul. this this is just a house for my soul. And so even when you're going and witnessing, even when people are dedicating their lives to Jesus, they're not dedicating their house. They're dedicating what's inside, their souls. And as inside begins to be refined, the outside will just be refined all by itself. Like, that will just work itself out all by itself. But what's important
Wait. Nimekumbuka kitu.
You just said you were going to let me talk.
No, as in you said house, then I remembered something.
Uh-huh.
But now I have to tweak it for this certain scenario. Christian engineering in the house. Yeah. Now continue.
I don't even know what that was about. I have no idea what that was about. But yes, and so even when you're witnessing to people, one of the ways to do that, like I said, is how you live your life. And so, with what I've said about us being souls, and the more important thing is saving people's souls, not saving people's bodies, is saving people's souls, and putting that together with how we live our lives, how you treat people, who you are in the presence of other people, who you are even when there's nobody else around, how you treat the people around you, whether those are people that work for you, whether those are people that work under you. For example, how do you treat people? I saw somebody say one time, this is completely unrelated, but it kind of is. I saw somebody say one time, if you're on a date with somebody and they treat the wait staff terribly, that's all you need to know about the person. How you treat the people around you, those that are less fortunate of you, those that are more fortunate than you, that all is you witnessing. That's how you witness. Because Eleanor Roosevelt said this, people forget how you dressed, how you talked, where you went, what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's a fact. There are teachers that I remember, there are teachers that I'm sure you remember, and it's not because of what they taught me. I do not remember.
What?
I had a teacher in kindergarten called Teacher Joyce. I do not remember anything this woman taught me. Nothing. Nothing. But how she made me feel, the fact that she made me think I was capable of doing more things than I ever thought I was, the fact that she treated me like I am not that I'm a baby, but like I'm a tiny adult. Like, yes, you can make decisions for yourself. What is it that you want to do? Yeah. She was so cool. In class.
Got a great teacher.
In class, she was amazing.
Mine told me only one thing. I could color very well.
And that was it.
And that
was it. So yeah, even when you think about friendships, like people who, when you were a kid, like friendships you had when you were a kid, that if you had a chance to rekindle, you would. It's always the people that made you feel good, that made you feel important, that made you feel happy. And so that is one of the biggest ways that we can show Jesus to the world, because that's how Jesus was. Jesus wasn't in the business of, even when you think about like how Jesus witnessed, quote unquote, it was never about sitting down and telling people, yes, if you don't believe in me, you'll go to hell. No, he fed people. Tell me anytime someone has brought you food and you aren't happy about it. One time someone has fed you and you aren't happy about it. Jesus healed the sick. He talked to people. And like I personally, like when people talk about it, they're like, wow, Jesus' voice must have been so loud for all those people to just be following him and listening to him. Personally, for me, I think Jesus was a friendly person. I think that the reason why crowds of people would, because today, in this day and age, when you see a crowd of people, like, I wouldn't even get the chance to talk to the person, so what's the point? I wouldn't even get a chance to be near the person, so what's the point? But personally, for me, I believe Jesus was the type of person who, when he had finished preaching, or when the food had been, he would walk around and talk to people and say hi to them. Because that just sounds like who Jesus was, you know? That just sounds like... Very crazy,
I'm trying to imagine.
But that just sounds like who Jesus was. I personally, for me, I don't think he was this person that stood in front of everybody and let you revel in everything that he is, and then after that everybody just goes home. I personally think he just walked around and talked to people. He played with children. Like that's how like even the children of the towns would follow him, because it's like, no, this is a cool guy, I want to talk to him. And you knew that he would talk to you. You knew that he would give you the time of day.
You know what I'm thinking?
So what?
like after he fed the people, then he was like, "Oh, vipi bro? Mkate uko poa? Samaki ameiva, si
Sawa.
ndio?" Feed.
Yeah, no, I genuinely believe that's who he was, and that's why thousands upon thousands of people were following him wherever he went every day, because he was the type of person you wanted to be around. He was the type of person that made you feel at home. He was the type of person that made you feel happy, And I know that we have like, oh, Suji, there are people that are extroverts, there are people that are introverts. Leave that aside. How you treat the people, whether you're an introvert and you prefer to interact with people one-on-one, whether you're an extrovert and you crowd of thousands or a crowd of 5, you are the star. How you treat the people around you, how you make those people feel, that's what's important, and that's what causes a distinction. Because there's still times when you can be really, really great to people, you can be so nice to them, and they're just like, what is it about you? Like, what is it about you that is so different from everybody else? Because when I'm with you, I feel differently. And then that's when you go, oh, see, I have a friend. His name is Jesus. He taught me everything I know. And that's how you do it.
Preach.
So, in the way that you live and how you treat the people around you, in how you do your work, because Jesus, the Bible, everything in there talked a lot about working smart, working hard, working in silence,
working and eating.
There's so much in the Bible just to show you, like, hey, this is how you are a distinction, because it's not that easy, especially in this day and age, to look at someone and be like, that's a Christian, that's not a Christian. It's not that easy anymore. But have an interaction with people, and then you will be able to tell the difference. And as Christians, it's important that we are the difference, if that makes sense. For me, one of my biggest goals in life is I want to get to the point where, obviously, I have money. That would be great. But I want to get to the point where if somebody's ever in need or ever in trouble, like, people know, they're like, yeah, go to Sarah's house, here's her number, call her, she will help you out, whatever it is you need. She knows people, or her herself should be able to help you. If someone is in trouble, I want them to know that my house is open, and I will give them a warm meal, and we will talk about whatever is going on. Like, that's always been a really big, like, just dream of mine. Not exactly to open
your door,
like
like, hey,
not exactly opening a
come
halfway house, but creating an environment where people feel like even my own friends, if they need like time away from their usual life, they can just come and crash on my couch in the guest bedroom for like 2 days, and then they can be able to move on with their life. So yeah, it's in how you treat people that is the difference, because that's what was the difference with Jesus. And as we say, as Christians, we formulate our lives around what did Jesus do. And I personally think that Jesus was a type of person that made other people feel incredible. Not necessarily because he had superpowers, as some people like to say, or because he was half God, half man, but it was because he cared about people and he showed a genuine interest in people. And he, except for the Pharisees and the Sadducees, which, we're not even going to talk about them, but with everybody else, he was curious and he was attentive, and he was, he was how you would want somebody to be around you. You want somebody to listen to you, want somebody to not necessarily agree, but you want somebody to listen to you, want somebody to have a conversation with you. And yeah, that's who Jesus was. Also, I know how to say what would Jesus do in Afrikaans.
How do you say in Afrikaans?
In Afrikaans, wat sal Jesus doen?
Yeah.
That's one of the things I'm so happy. I love languages, but yeah, wat sal Jesus doen? What would Jesus do?
Now this is a challenge. I will learn how to do that, to say that in at least 5 different languages.
Okay.
But not now.
But not now?
Not now.
That would have been a fun challenge. We
now.
go home and then next week we come and we both say it in 5 different languages.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah?
We can do that.
We'll do that.
Also, you guys
Now
you guys,
if you know how to say what would Jesus do in different languages, comment down below. And
it might be cheating because you're typing. So
yeah, you're typing. So you have to learn and then like say it throughout the week,
like
and then next Sunday.
Jesus done. Something like that.
That's not how you say it.
Right? Whatever Sarah said.
But yeah, so next week we will both come back and we will say what would Jesus do in 5 different languages. That's the homework. Yeah. And then the person that does it the best gets the other's cup of juice or soda.
You know, I usually don't even drink much.
I know.
Anyway,
So I'm gonna win.
what Sarah was just saying is, for us to witness, we need to live differently, and that brings. I have to like bring emphasis. That brings us to the story that we've had 1,000,001 times.
Wow.
The story of
100.
Daniel and his friends. We've had that story 1,000,001 times. You've heard that in Sunday school.
Yeah, but
for
if
those
you, I
people
think
who
if you
went inside.
actually count, I don't think it will hit 1,000,000.
Okay, as in, the point is tumesia mara nyingi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and how they lived differently was, first, when the king took them in, the king, he's the king. Anything that you want,
The king. Sorry.
anything that you want, he most probably has. So if you say you want chicken for dinner, those days, if you wanted chicken for dinner, he would give it to you. If you wanted the finest grain of rice or whatever, just the finest things in life, it was like, store number 10.
Store number 10.
Something like that. But then Daniel and his friends were different. Imagine when everybody else was there, anasavia nyama choma, kachapati hapo, just nice stuff. Okay. Kina Daniel were like, I didn't want to say this today, but I just have to say it. Namalamtsunga. and people were like, you have the chance to eat
steak.
How do they say it? Briskets.
Steak. Yes, brisket, yeah.
Na some
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes. Isn't that KFC?
Yes.
Anyway, they asked for greens and
spinach, cabbage,
vegetables and those stuff. That
salad.
Was very different
and water.
Because the king expected them like, poor boys, they'll want meat. Then they ask for greens and water. Like, are you cows? Anyway, 10 days later, it turned out that Daniel and his friends were actually healthier, more chubby, I think, than the other guys who actually ate the briskets and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Is it fried?
Yeah.
Yes. Fried.
Because because what was happening with Daniel and his friends was very similar to what happened with Esther and the rest of the women. Because I think it's the same. I'm not sure. It's not the same time period, but it's the same kingdom. Esther happened before. It's the same kingdom, and so with Esther, they were being prepared to be a bride. Basically, they were being prepared to be a future bride. So for them, what they were eating, what they were wearing, how they were being trained, it was to be a future bride. Whereas with Daniel and the other men, when you read the story, they were the most intelligent, most brave, most brilliant, whatever, from Israel. So they were being trained to work for the king. So either that means you're in the army or you're in the castle. Either way, you need to be strong, you need to be fast, you need to be agile, all of those things.
And intelligent.
Exactly, and you need to be intelligent. And so with now Daniel and the men, this whole story was revolving around their training to work now for the king. And so, oh Lord, he was training to work for the king. And so that's why them looking stronger than the other men was actually a big deal, because that's what they're being trained to do. And so obviously if these men are eating wine and meat and all that jazz, and these men are drinking water and eating vegetables, and they're healthier, then obviously we need to change the diet of these other men as well, because there are only 4 of them. And these others are probably, 20, 30, so yeah, that's why it was important, 20, 30.
Anyway, the main gist of this point, words are coming that don't fit, but anyway, you'll forgive me, is Akina Daniel and the group, Daniel and Co., Daniel and Associates.
Daniel and friends.
They decided to stand up to the king based on what they actually know and what they believe in. They knew, like, back wherever we were, we used to eat those greens and We used to play football like now. I don't know if they used to play football, but as in they're strong in short.
Mm.
So coming to this other side, we don't need to change because we are in a different place.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And after they did that, the king was like, you know what? Those wines, meats, take them away. Give them a boga, yote, navu, brenda, all of them. Give them. And that basically is what we are talking about in our day and age. Though it's a very different story, it has the same principle. That Akina Daniel, through what they believed in, actually changed the king's mind on what to feed the other guys. That is how we as Christians, through what we believe in, can change other people's opinion on being, well, a Christian, if that makes sense. That's point number one, basically. Point
That's
number
point number
two.
one.
Yes. Point number two. Well, as a witness, we have to live right. Like, not as in left, right. Not as in right, as in right. Because if, let's say, Kina Daniel misbehaved kiasi, like took some cheat days and ate the meat and all that, the the validation of whatever they're eating was good enough will have been a bit diluted. Because like, but Wednesday and Thursday, I saw you. Then the king will have been, wait, so what if we balance? Then now umechanganya, you've created something
Yeah.
completely different. But then they stuck to whatever they believed in and it worked for them. And us, we need to stick to that. Let's not say that, um, okay, for people who are in high school, university, you know those Saturday parties, usually Saturdays. Don't see that your friends are going and you feel like, I can go, alafu I can make it to church kesho. No, 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 no. You stick to what you believe in. You know what happens at those parties. Let's
No,
not
no.
pretend. Rip. Anyway, anyway, we need to stick to what we know, to what we believe in,
No,
and
no, no.
those things that will actually, okay, I don't want to say contaminate, but those things that will contaminate our faith, we need to keep away from. We need to keep away from those, because it's not. Yeah, if you think of it like in a real day-to-day life thing, I'm not talking about like the Christianese here, the Christianese version. I'm just talking about like day to day. If you when you're talking to a friend of yours, and let's say you are good to that person, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday unachachisha, Saturday unachachisha, then Sunday because well it's a holiday eh, they will not forget what you did on Friday and Saturday. As what Sarah said, they will not forget how you made them feel. And living right as a Christian, it's our duty because we are given the commandments. The Israelites are given the commandments, and you're given some commands to follow also, like love your neighbors, love yourself.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart,
Yes.
soul, mind, and soul.
And we can't go against that because that's not right. And so we have to live right as witnesses. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can understand what I'm trying to put across. Hey, English is coming today. Anyway, point 3. As witnesses, you need to talk about your God to others, of course, and even to yourself, Pia. I know it sounds crazy talking to yourself about God, but it helps. It helps. Like, God has done this for me. And yeah, He's great. And so, yeah, as a witness, you need to talk to others about God. Of which that's a thing that most of us are finding it hard. I'm not, okay, I've decided this episode I'm not capping. I'm telling you as it is. As it is, don't stop capping.
You're right. You're right. You're good.
Yes. Most people find it hard to talk about God, especially in public places, because you are afraid that the people will look at you like, please don't make this face a meme, please. Anyway, you're afraid people will look at you that way, like, sasa huyu. Yani sisi tumekuja hapa kujienjoy alafu wanaongea. You're afraid to be that party pooper, if I should say. Well, you don't need to feel ashamed about it because, well, it's Jesus you're talking about. He's better than, God knows, going to the beach and swimming. He's better than You diving in the deep end, their belly, that hurts.
Belly flop.
Yeah, that hurts. But we should not feel afraid or ashamed or feel like we're going to be termed as weird. I need to say this because, well, that's what people feel when you're talking about God. Because first, He's the creator of everything. Without Him, even those people that are thinking you're weird will not have been created. That's the first thing. The second thing, He is the one who sustains life. So, although those people are created, without Him, they wouldn't be alive that very day. Okay? Third thing, and I always get to number 3 when I say there is no third thing.
Yeah. I don't know why you keep thinking there's gonna be 3 and there's always 2.
Well, after 3 days he rose from the dead and all that.
Sure.
Still, we need to stand up and
Take charge.
yes, take charge. Of which taking charge, we are taking charge of 2021, as we said at the beginning of the year, and we are not stopping in March. We are not stopping in. You're in March, India. We're not stopping in March. We won't stop. We didn't stop in January. We didn't stop in Feb. We're not stopping in March. April.
Oh my gosh, we're in March.
April kuna Easter. We won't stop there. First of all, mwanzo Easter, wakati Christ amefufuka, pia sisi sasa tunafufuka na nguvu mpya, okay? Yes, that is just a thing I need to.
Are you done?
Yes.
There's no point 4.
Okay.
There's no point 4.
Point 4. To be a witness.
You have to be unstoppable.
Yes. No bullets can pass you.
That's not even.
You can't get knocked down by a car. Whenever somebody like us.
You don't get discouraged, basically.
Okay.
So regardless of. So regardless of what people say, or whether or not somebody actually accepts Jesus Christ as their savior at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you keep going, because that's what Jesus did. He kept going. He preached to thousands of people. To this day, we don't know how many of those people. You might find only 5 of those people actually were like, "Oh my gosh, Jesus is Lord." But he kept going. He kept going. So, yeah, you have to be unstoppable.
From what I just said, I know I've talked a lot today, but from what I just said, about people thinking that you're weird, don't stop because people think that you're weird. Be weird for God, okay? Okay? Yes, be unstoppable. Forget the part about being bulletproof and all. As in, whatever Sarah said, no matter what people say, because also Jesus faced opposition. The Pharisees were like, blasphemous! And, well, Jesus didn't say, oh, these people think that I am blasphemous. Let me just tone it down, kiasi. Then when everything is clear,
It's cool down.
yeah, then no, he actually continued and even went to the synagogues wherever the Pharisees were expecting to be respected and treated as high-end people. Jesus went there and preached, and even after he preached, the people were like, "Hey, you call yourself the Son of God?" Okay, they didn't say that, but in that same scenario, Jesus was like, "Yes, I have just read whatever Isaiah said, and you can't blame me. He wrote that thing like many years before you were born, and I'm not going to stop because you people think that I've called myself the Son of God. Heck, I am the Son of God. Deal with it. Like, I'm here and that's it." Okay, anyway, be unstoppable, in short. Take charge, be unstoppable. Now we have a new one. Take charge and be unstoppable. Anyway,
Those are the 4 points for
that's
today.
Actually, there's point 5.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. That's the 4 points of today.
Thank you so much for joining us on 1320. We had an incredible time talking to you, and we look forward to talking to you next week and the week after that. Stay safe and keep striking.
Ooh, nice.
That's like a Valley Girl accent. What are you doing? Stop doing that. That's creepy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to like fit.
This is not the time or the place. Stop. I will literally slap you. I will backhand you with these rings of
Thank
mine.
you for watching.
Stop. You're freaking the people out.
1320.
What about the kids what about the people with children? You're gonna freak them out. Don't do that.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Until next Sunday, when I'll be back. Terminator.
Bye, everyone. No. No. Not after that. I have nothing to say after that.